I saw a report in the newsletters that said that some fans were unhappy at the house shows because they weren't getting the same television presentation for Kane, at a house show. Of course, we're talking about a pyro spin. Had you considered that there's so much theatric with the entrance that maybe it's not going to translate well to the live event and maybe fans would be disappointed?
Well, it comes down to a matter of cost, and
Sure.
that's the bottom line. So, yeah, you think about it, but you also look at the bottom line, and is it worth $50,000 in pyro for a live event that is going to eat into the profits considerably versus a television show where the budget is a lot different? So, some things have to go. There's a lot of things that are different on a live event than they are on television.
Let's talk a little bit about the build to WrestleMania. By March of 98, we know what we're going to do. We're getting our Undertaker Kane match. But we have a little show and tell before we get there. I imagine you were there when the Undertaker is doing a promo from the grave site of his parents. What can you tell us about that?
You have to go back and to humanize someone who is dead. You have to allow them to be relatable, and people can relate to family. For those who have lost loved ones, lost your parents, lost a sibling, what have you, you know what that feels like. It immediately taps into you. I will say that I watched a movie. God, I can't even remember what the hell the movie was the other day, but it was about kids, and it was a father daughter moment. I know what it was. It's Poltergeist, and it was the father
You
daughter
watched the
relationship.
OG Poltergeist in 2024?
What's that?
You watched the original OG Poltergeist in 2024?
No, and I had never seen it. The new one, the remake they did.
Okay, I didn't see that either.
It's not as
Okay.
good as the original, but I get emotional when it's relationships like with a father and son or a father and daughter and everything, because I can relate to it. So it's different when you tap into emotion. So anyone that's lost somebody, that was what that was for. And that was Undertaker going to speak to his parents and talk about what he was going to have to do to his brother, who he thought all along was right next to them. And maybe now it's time that his brother join them. And he's going to bring them his little brother. It just, again, it was emotional. It was being able to tap into emotions that everybody has that they can relate to.
So, we got to talk about this is my favorite moment from Kane history. Right before WrestleMania, we're trying to go tit for tat. We're trying to show that the Undertaker doesn't have any powers Kane doesn't have. So he starts summoning lightning and setting crew members on fire, and people are putting them out with extinguishers. I mean, we got lighting grids going out and crew guys getting lit on fire. I like the idea that we're leaning into the supernatural. We didn't do this all the time, but we certainly did it right before WrestleMania 14. It made me laugh out loud as a kid, as a fan at the time. But now I can totally see why. Hey, man, if we're going to present him as a credible threat, and we've seen The Undertaker do 8 years of this incredible stuff, we got to have Kane do a few things. What can you tell us about this?
Well, I mean, they got him from their mom and daddy.
So how
mom and daddy had powers? They got the powers. It's just passed down.
How did mom and daddy get the powers?
That's a secret. It's a secret. I can't. I mean, they're in Tombstone, Arizona, where they lived, and they had a little funeral home. There were minerals in the ground. Then when you dug that much in those minerals, the way they did, because they had a very successful funeral home, and they dug a lot of graves, and they got a lot of that minerals in them. They breathed them, and everything in their water, and just everything that they did. They had all these minerals that were absorbed into their body, and it gave them powers.
Can you just make this bullshit up off the top of your head like this at any given moment?
I'm just giving you this is what happened. You asked how they had these powers.
Okay.
These powers are passed down. And then when Papa Undertaker was banging Mama Undertaker, those minerals squirt in there and they mix together. And Paul Bearer, of course, if he did diddle Undertaker's mama, then he had them too, because he was out there. Now, he didn't do a lot of digging, but he probably sniffed a lot of those minerals during his days there as the funeral director.
As a Ute, yeah.
As a Ute, and you get all that in you, and then powers manifest themselves. Go on out there in Tombstone, Arizona, and get you some. Just go breathe air, man. A little. Next thing you know, you're going to get on there. You're going to, God damn, I need to light this damn stove. The little clicker thing's not doing, and it'll fucking happen.
I'm going to have to take your word for it. SaveWithConrad.com.
My name is Doug Gustafson, and we are from Columbus, Ohio. First learned of Conrad through his podcast network. I'm a big 83 Weeks fan. Probably got into a little bit more credit card debt than what we wanted to during the course of the pandemic. We wanted to get rid of some of that. My wife and I had luckily bought the house many years ago and had quite a bit of equity built up in it. We are looking to actually redo our bathroom, things around the house that we wanted to do with the other equity that we have left over. We've been talking about refinancing forever, and I finally just took the plunge and called the number, got a hold of him, and from start to finish, it was just fantastic. I had Diane within the day. The communication with her was fantastic. The process moved quicker than I could have ever hoped. My name's Doug Gustafson from Columbus, Ohio. I ended up saving $800 a month with Save with Conrad, and am able to also update our bathroom.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender.
SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what AdFreeShows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? AdFree Shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that AdFreeShows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. AdFreeShows.com.